everyone, my name is S Comic Maker, and this episode we are making something near and dear to my heart. We are drawing my first love, my first crush, my sweet, sweet Prince Abubu.
But as Comic Maker, what about your husband? Aren't you married?
Why, yes I am. Very happily so. But we aren't talking about this guy. We are speaking of a time before there was a husband. Back when my life was filled with imagination, growing up in the Disney Renaissance. You see, the original Aladdin came out in November of 1992, back when I was a wee little, well, a literal baby. I was 2 years old when the animated Aladdin film came out. But once I was old enough to sit through movies, I was hooked on Aladdin. My sisters and I all had Disney movies that we absolutely loved. My older sister's favorite was The Little Mermaid. My younger sister's was The Lion King. But me, it was the adventure that pulled me in. It was another world. It was the hair. I mean, Aladdin was a cute rebel with a charming smile and a heart of gold. I watched and rewatched this movie countless times. I dressed as Jasmine for Halloween and had Jasmine pajamas. No joke. Here's a picture of me. The obsession was real. I truly adored this movie. So, as all Disney movies are now receiving this treatment, when they mentioned a reboot, ya girl had to be there.
But as Comic Maker, didn't you see the genie memes? I mean, do you really want to "yeah, that's hot" all through this movie?
Well, yes, I was concerned about all that, as a lot of people were. You could never really bring back the charm that is the late Robin Williams. He just oozed character and personality and truly brought an immortal genie that could never be replaced. But I really try to give movies the benefit of the doubt and give them a chance before I make a judgment. After the first Aladdin 2019 trailer dropped, I made it a point to not watch any other trailer or video about it because I wanted to go in blind and come out with my own uninfluenced opinion of a remake to the movie that made my childhood. And what did I think of the film? Well, as you can imagine, the nostalgia for the original could never be overpowered by the remake, so there is no contest that my favorite is and always will be the original animated Aladdin. But for what it was, I actually really enjoyed the 2019 live-action remake and genuinely think that it is the best of the current live-action reboots. I mean, please, don't get me started on the mess that is Maleficent. I can't believe they're making a second one. But anyway, there are, of course, things wrong with the film, and there are some things that just don't have the same feel to it. But overall, there were some changes and design choices that I actually applaud them for. If you have never seen the Aladdin movie, get out. Get out now. I don't want you here. I'm just kidding. I know I have some younger watchers that have yet to see the film, but I'll be getting into spoiler territory here, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, skip to this time. So, story-wise, some of the things that I liked about this film. There was some nice elaboration on story elements that I enjoyed. For example, in the live-action film, Jafar actually shares with Aladdin that he used to be a street rat like him, but had to take what he could get to raise himself up into the position of power he currently stood in. But of course, Jafar always wants more. But learning that Jafar grew up as a thief plays a part later when Jafar steals the lamp from Aladdin. So I actually really like that. Connections like that were really cool in this film. But there were also some things the film took away that felt kind of odd to me. So in the Cave of Wonder scene in the animated version, when Aladdin meets Genie for the first time, Aladdin tricks Genie into getting them out of the cave without using a wish by just his wits alone. But in the film, they have this weird clause about having to rub the lamp while making a wish instead of just having the words "I wish" beforehand be how the wishes are granted. So That was strange, but the reason why I liked it so much in the animated movie is because it showed how clever Aladdin is, which plays into him tricking Jafar at the end of the film. When Aladdin tricks him in the remake, it just doesn't feel as clever and satisfying, and Jafar being a powerful sorcerer at the end also feels very quick and over with in the live action version. But some of the interactions with Genie and Jasmine are lots of fun to watch in this movie. In fact, let's stop and talk about my girl Jasmine in this movie, because boy does she carry this whole film. In fact, this movie should be called something like The Rise of Jasmine or some crap like that. They gave so much love to her in this film. She got extra songs, had a whole story arc, and in the end she becomes Sultan, which is just so stinking cool. I don't know if that's how it was in the musical version, I've never seen that one, but seeing it in the film was super, super awesome. All my love for that girl. Mwah, Jasmine, I love you. And oh, Naomi Scott killed it and was the strongest actress in the movie. While some of the acting was a little lackluster, some of the singing too, she really stood out, and every time she was on screen, even some of like the corny scenes, I was hooked on her. But something weird, almost everyone in this movie has the same accent except for Aladdin and Jasmine, who weirdly have like a North American accent. I mean, how does that make any sense? I don't know. There was some strangeness there. Alright, the spoiler bits are over now, so welcome back everyone who clicked ahead. Before we talk about the art, I wanted to quickly go over some of the stuff that I liked visually in this film that isn't so spoiler-ish. So the costumes in this movie are awesome, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this drawing today, but we'll get to that in a second. I adore all of the details, especially in Jasmine's wardrobe. And the sets for Agrabah and the palace were amazing to watch on screen. I think my only gripe with this is that a large majority of this film is bright and colorful and beautiful, but in the scene for the song, A Whole New World, it was sadly one of the flattest parts for me. My girl Naomi, she killed it on vocals again, which she does in the whole film, like I said, unlike some other people. But visually, it was kind of dark and foggy, so the magic just really wasn't there for me. But speaking of visuals, the artwork this week. Overall, I really enjoyed this film and will honestly probably see it again at some point. So to celebrate my love for Aladdin and my love for the new costumes in the live action remake, I decided to kind of fuse the two together. I drew the 1992 animated Aladdin style, but gave them the outfits from the 2019 live action remake. There are so many details to try and add in this style, and it was very difficult that at first I was super worried that it wouldn't come out looking right. Typically I would have tried to outline with colored pencils for this, but the line art is so small that I didn't think I could pull it off, so I lined it with my Copic multi-liner instead, so not the typical brush pen that you guys have seen me use before, because the lines for that are a lot thicker. But overall, this was super, super fun to make. I even added shiny gold details with my Posca pen this time. Ooh! You can probably tell from looking, but by far Jasmine was the most fun to draw. I really loved how they made her iconic teal outfit with all these like ornate peacock details. That was really, really fun. But what did you guys think of my Aladdin and Jasmine live action but old animated version artwork that I made this week? Is there a Disney movie that you guys love that has not been made into a live action remake that you would like to see? I'm curious to know what your favorite Disney movies are too, so let me know in the comments down below. Which film do you want to see come to life? If you're curious, any of the supplies I use I will leave down in the description of this video, but that is it for me this week, everyone. Be sure to check out the Aladdin remake if you haven't seen it yet. It isn't perfect, but it is a lot of fun. A special thank you to all my patrons who make videos like this possible. Seriously, I could not do it without you all. And until next time, everyone, I appreciate you all stopping by, and I hope that we can draw together again soon. Bye, guys.